Good morning, gathering crew. As I said before, we will be posting videos, and I've left it open for Eric and Quinn and Deborah that if they want to send a message, and myself, that you can send it to me, and I will post it. And I decided that today would be a good day to send a message. We've been not getting together for a little bit over a month now, and I've been talking to other members. My wife's been talking to other members, and what we've determined is Eric was right. There is no church out there like the gathering. All of us that I've talked to are struggling right now trying to find a new home. No church is like the gathering. And what I'm trying to say here is today, it's tough. Okay. A couple churches that we went to, great music, good message, no prayer. How can you have a church with no prayer? Not even the Our Father. So, what looked promising, my wife is the one who mentioned, she goes, "You realize they didn't say a prayer, did they?" I thought, no, they didn't. Okay, so 2 out of 3. We've gone to a couple traditional Lutheran churches. Again, message spot on, great message. The music, not even close to the gathering. It was slow, it was methodical, nothing joyous, nothing, that makes you kind of jump out of your seat and go, Jesus is risen today, yes. Nothing that gets you excited. And so therefore, the mass itself was okay, but the message was great, but without the music, you don't get that feeling here for me. And I'm beginning to realize what we're looking for is going to be almost impossible to find. Okay. You can get the message on TV. Right. In fact, I'll be honest with you, I just got done watching Worship Anew on Pentecost Sunday. And I got it. I got up early. I says, I need to know this message. The other thing that I'm feeling because of what's happening is I'm feeling a disconnect. I feel as if my connection with God is only halfway. It's not all there. And this morning, after listening to the message, I feel like my connection is back. So even if you can't find a church, find something you can watch on TV. Get involved somewhere, sometime, anything to keep that connection. Because losing your church is, yes, you are losing a little bit of that connection with God. I mean, I know we are the church, okay? But we also have a service that we do that we love. I mean, I'll be honest with you, nobody, and we've been to 3 or 4 churches so far, nobody has been able to do the music that we can do. I mean, Quinn picked up Elvis. Quinn picked up a couple of the old artists from the 40s and 50s, all right, that sang great, that sent a message. I went totally contemporary, where we had Doobie Brothers, REO Speedwagon, Norman Greenbaum. I mean, the point was is that we picked songs that were joyous. When I go into mass, I'm sorry, that's the Catholic thing. When I go to a service, mass, whatever you want to call it, all right, I go in there and I want to hear that song, bang, all right, just get me going. Get me joyous to be here. I want a reason for being here. Get me going. And what do I get? Joy to God and to and you know what? That just doesn't grab me. It doesn't grab my heart. It doesn't grab city here. It doesn't grab. Now the people at every place we've been to have been fantastic. I'm not going to deny it. They're very welcoming. Okay. The other thing that we've noticed is that services are only about a third full at best. So therefore, based on observation, we can tell you that these churches are struggling and they need people. But I have a hard time wondering, how do you get people without grabbing them, pulling them in? Sometimes you have to change with the times. One of the churches we walked into, great music. I mean, absolutely, it was it was a it was really good. It was like a revival, okay, but it really made you feel great. The gospel and the sermon were mixed together. So as he started off his gospel, my wife and I were looking at each other like, what's going on here? Because he started off with music. What's going on here? He just started talking. And next thing you know, boom, there's the message. So he took the message and intertwined them and did a really great job at the end and say, all right, I'll do good. And then we sang and we left. No Our Father, no Apostles' Creed, no elements, no body, no blood, no bread, no wine. And it's like, well, that's great, but now we're dealing with this as a revival, not a service. Okay. And somebody told me that the reason they don't have prayer there is that prayer holds you accountable. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but it might be the new wave, which is I don't know if I can handle that. I'm not sure. My wife and I continue to struggle. There we still have some places that we want to go to that we're going to try out. In fact, I can tell you right now, I believe next weekend we're going to try West Ridge Community Church out in Elgin and see how they did. We went to their Easter, their Good Friday, and it was very good. So, granted, it's a little further than the gathering. Gathering is right outside my door, basically. I could have ridden my bicycle. Okay, and am I willing to go? I mean, am I willing to go that far? Well, I go to men's group 25, 30 minutes away. All right. Why wouldn't I try a church that's the same distance in a different direction? Why not? Okay. I don't give up. I keep praying to God to lead me to where I want to go or to where He wants me to go. Let me completely rephrase that. At some point, it was my brain trying to take over, and it's not for me to make that decision. God will lead me to where I need to be. It's the fact that I just don't feel it. And I think at some point, like the Holy Spirit, I will get that feeling and it will click in my brain. And I'll be like, I'm home. Basically, church is like another home. Your friends are your relatives. God is your father. All right. And it's what you got to remember. God will lead you to where you want to be. But basically, the message is for all those who are searching, I'm putting it out there that I have talked to a few members of the Gathering for Christ. My wife has talked to a few members for the Gathering for Christ. And what we have learned is that, yeah, there is nothing like the Gathering, and you have to find your own home. There are some of our members that have found their home, and they are happy. And that's good for them. That's what you're supposed to be. You have to be happy where you're going. You can't go into it, and with half your brain going somewhere else. Okay, and I know that worship is supposed to be. I think worship is individual, but individually as together, and it's your own personality that goes with the church. Now, the gathering's gone. We have to say it's gone. It's almost like losing a loved one. You have to go through the 7 stages of loss to find the new home. I'm not sure I'm through the 7 stages yet. And I admit that. I miss the music. That's one thing that I really missed. And I will tell you, and I prayed, I said, I really miss picking the music. The gospels were given to me by God. All right. But Eric gave me, Eric and God gave me the option of what music I wanted to play. And if y'all noticed, always, my first song was joyous and happy. Yes, we're glad to be here. We're worshiping God. We had some great artists. We had some great music picked. Deborah picking what she picked. Eric picking. I mean, we all know Eric's favorite, the gathering anthem. We're gonna run, run, run to his love, love, love. I mean, that was perfect. And everybody loved it when it was on the screen because that's what the gathering was about. It's hard to find a new church. It's starting over. It's literally like you were in 8th grade and now you got to go to the big school, the high school. and now you got to start over. And it is starting over. Starting over is scary, but God will be there. God will lead you the way. He will take care of it. A lot of this I'm saying is because I need to say it out loud that God will provide. He will make sure that we will find a place that we are happy with, that the people are. One thing that I'm not worried about is the people. Everywhere we've gone, people are fantastic. All true believers that I see, all friendly, all saying, come on in, the water's fine. I know the water's fine. It's the way you're delivering the message that I'm not so sure about. The message is okay. It's the delivery. And for me, it's the music. You need that upbeat music. So in my annals of talking too long already, I will tell you that this is the first message that I'm putting out there by myself. No music, as you can tell. It is from my house. I haven't been bugged by my two cats. Cindy's still sleeping, so I was able to do this in the peace of my home, and I was finally able to get the thoughts together to let you know if you are looking, you are not the only one. And if somebody finds something that they really like, put it on Facebook. Let us all know so we can try it. Okay. We did go to one where it was Rich, Greg, Tracy, and her husband Tim, Cindy, and I. We were all there to try it. The funny thing is, we all had the same opinion. So, and granted, it had moments, but I want the full experience. Moments are fine, like the Cubs winning the World Series. That was a great moment. All right. Coming back to God was a fantastic moment. But in church, I think you need more than just a moment. You need the whole encompassing feeling to get there. Okay. So, speaking from one house to another, if you watch this, I pray for you that you do find what you are looking for. I pray for my wife and I to find what we are looking for. And just remember, you are not alone. We are all going through the same thing. May you have a blessed Pentecost Sunday. May you have a blessed week. And you will be hearing from one of us fairly soon with another new video. You never know. Thank you, and have a blessed Sunday.